Welcome everyone to another Wednesday night. Fundamentals to Gain Inner Peace with your host, Coach Menachem. And tonight we're going to try to go from self-criticism to self-compassion. It's Hashem. But self-criticism is something that many hear, many feel. We'll discuss, what's different ways of criticizing yourself, what are some reasons, and hopefully we'll be able to turn it around a little bit to self-compassion. Turn it around. It's Hashem. So the last few weeks, we discussed different parts, becoming aware of different feelings that we have, different thoughts, and being able to unblend, being able to see that it's just a part of you, something in you. Doesn't mean that it is you, and it's something that you can listen to. You don't have to get lost. So it's an interesting concept. And to allow, we create that space to allow it to come up. You want to understand it more. Tell me more. What's going on? Why are you so sad? Or, a part of me is anxious. A part of me doesn't believe in myself. Part of me thinks I'm a failure. So you want to understand it. You want to be able to listen to it. So, like we discussed, you can zoom out, look at it, listen to it, and hopefully we don't get caught into it. And like someone mentioned, unblending can be with other people also, and that's true. Sometimes you could be in a room with other people and everybody's caught up in different energy, and sometimes you don't realize that you're getting caught up in their stuff. And like, so if you can be aware, wait, that person is angry, and you can look at them and then see, how do you feel about it, and see, where am I, and not get into it. So that's just creating that space. With other people can be easier, but with yourself, that can be a challenge. Because when I'm angry, I'm angry. You get telling me that I'm not angry? I am. If I feel sad, I feel sad. Whatever I'm feeling. So what's going on with this unblending? Yeah, but there is the idea of being able to see that part, being able to listen to it, understand what's going on, why does it feel that way. So just to stop for a moment before we do the grounding like we do every week, just to think to ourselves, where in my day do I feel certain feelings that come up, and somewhere where you would benefit from blending. So if you want, you can share in the chat. Let me know different things that come up, different spaces, different feelings that you would benefit from if you can look at it. A part of me thinks I'm not capable. Beautiful. It's just a part of you. Don't like myself. Yes, a lot of parts can come up. A lot of different thoughts and different feelings. But even before we know it's a part, that's how I feel. I feel, unlovable. Brokenness, sadness. Yeah, all of these feelings. Fearful. It could even, talking about your religious life. Sometimes people have, sometimes you just don't trusting in Hashem, trusting in, or believing maybe. Sometimes you could be in a place where I don't even know what it's all about. So sometimes you feel that's you, but we get to a place where there's a part inside of me that doesn't believe. Like, oops, wow. It's a part inside of me that doesn't trust. Beautiful. I mean, maybe not so beautiful, but let's talk about it. Allow it to come up. not fitting into groups, feeling disconnected. Beautiful. Again, I'm saying beautiful, but it's beautiful that you can allow this to come up. And now we can spend a minute or two just to listen. First of all, to be able to zoom out, just look at that and say, a part of me feels that way, a part of me. And just by saying those words, it helps, in your mind, knowing, hey, I guess there's another part of me that does. Yeah, it's just a part of me. Like we discussed, if there's a part of me that feels one way, then there is probably a part of me that doesn't feel that way. And if many times it's quiet, you don't hear it. All you hear is the loudspeaker, those negative emotions. But if we can zoom out, listen to it, and then you can ask, is it okay if you create some space so that other parts can come up? Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, but it does take practice because we feel that's how we feel. We feel that's me. So it does take time. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get grounded. And before we continue, just to understand a little bit of our inner critic, all of these negative voices that come up, let's just take a moment to come into the room and be here in the moment, here in the now. Just becoming aware of how do I feel, what's going on, where am I? Take a deep breath. Let it roll out. Another deep breath in. Hmm. You can do a fast body scan just to become aware of where do I feel, what does my body feel, top of my head, forehead, eyes, cheeks, jaw, chin, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, stomach. If I'm breathing, deep breath in and out, I'm just becoming aware of those feelings. And if anything comes up, just be aware of it. Don't try to change anything. Deep breath in and out. Don't try too hard. It might be hard to relax. Don't try too hard to relax. Just becoming aware. Just becoming aware. Where am I? Here I am. Beautiful. Okay, so to be able to go from self-criticism to self-compassion, let's first discuss why, a few ideas. Why do we criticize ourselves? One idea is I'd rather do it before anybody else does it. If I'm aware of it and I'm criticizing myself that I'm not good, so that other people can't, they can't tell it to me as if I don't know it. I know it already. I know I'm not good. So you're ready for that. I remember a long time ago, I was in Eretz Yisrael when I was a bacher, and we ate by somebody's couple. I guess it was first few Shabbosim. And the lady walked out with the cholent, and she said, "Sorry, the cholent didn't come out good this week." And I was wondering, okay, now what? What are we supposed to do now? She, but it's much easier that way because if it's really not good, so at least she said it. It's there. It's not good. You can't tell. You can't tell it to me. You can't even think it because I said it. So we rather criticize ourselves and then nobody could tell us anything news. So walking around criticizing ourselves, I'm not good, I'm not capable. So we feel more comfortable not to be scared. Another idea would be people think that if they don't criticize themselves, then they're not going to be motivated. You have to do it better. You're not good enough. Keep on, you have to, it gives them that drive to maybe perform better. Because by thinking, if I think I'm okay, I'm good, then I might just stay there. And we had a whole class on this, a while ago, discussing what's driving you. Is it something that's saying you're not good enough, so you better perform more, show the world how good you are? Or it's coming from a place, I'm good. I just, have something inside of me that wants to do more, help other people, create, which is amazing. So is it coming from a positive side or a negative side? So that's important to many people think if I believe that I'm okay and you can relax and take it easy, that means I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna perform, I'm not gonna be able to, I'm not gonna want to do anything. Okay, something to think about. So, and then there's another reason why, to lower our expectations. If I'm walking around criticizing myself, saying how I'm not capable, I can't do anything anyways, then whatever I do is just more than I can do. So it's amazing. I'm always in a great place because I can't expect anything from myself. Anyways, I know I'm not good. So whatever I do is fine. So you lower your expectations and you don't set any goals, any intentions, something that you want to work on because you might fail, might not work out, you might feel like a failure. So I'd rather just lower the expectations and just stay where I am, do every day the same thing. After a while, you're like, what's going on? So these are three ideas. Three ideas why we should criticize. And then you can always think back, where does it come from? Maybe an adult in your life, whether a teacher, a parent, many times, you don't believe in yourself anymore because of the younger years, and that's how they looked at you. So something to think about. Criticizing yourself. Then there are different emotions that can come up that's under the umbrella, the same idea. Criticizing yourself because, that inner critic, sometimes it can come up with shameful ideas, feeling shame about yourself. It judges you. It walks around. Imagine somebody inside of you just judging you and saying how not good you are. It doesn't feel good. Something inside of me is like just criticizing all day and judging. What's going on? Why can't I just like some positives? Hello, doing great. Baruch Hashem. So there could be that part that feels shame. You feel guilt. Should have done better. Anxiety can come up. That feeling of anxiety, sadness, depression, all of these feelings. Something to spend time to see, why do I feel this way? But even before thinking why, just to become aware of it and to be able to see that a part of you believes that, you know, whether it's shame, guilt, and you can ask it, what's going on? Tell me more. Right? It might be fear of failure, perfectionism. So all of these emotions, all of these feelings that come up, time to zoom out, see that part inside of me, and be able to listen to it. Spend some time just to listen. And you can ask it, what are you trying, what is it? Trying to protect me? What are you trying to say? So let's stop for a moment and see where we are. Where am I? Any of these feelings while I'm talking, do they come up? And again, you can share in the chat. Let me know if any of these feelings come up, whether it's now or in the past. A feeling of incapable, hard to relax, criticized all my life. Yeah, these are different reasons of why we feel this way. A lack of support, perfectionism. Wow. Part of me doesn't let me think what I'm feeling. Just see that part that doesn't allow you to feel. It's scared. Criticize myself too much. Always criticize myself. Okay, so now let's look at it as a part. There's a part of you. Yeah, so you can say it. There's a part of me that criticizes me myself always, constantly criticism. Poor self-image. There's a part of me that has a very poor self-image. Just be able to see that there's a part of me. So that means there's another part of you that believes that you're capable, that you're good, but you might not know about it, you might not hear it. But if we create that space of, the part that does think of you're not capable, then we hopefully will find the part that feels you are capable. Might be quiet, but we want to turn up the volume. A part of me feels incapable of connecting to abstract concepts, like connecting to Hashem and to a parent who is nifter. So that can be a hard one. Understand there's a lot of pain, and you might not want to go there. So there's a part of you protecting. So you might want to thank that part. Something that's abstract, losing a parent, somebody who's nifter. It's you don't know where to put it. That can be pretty abstract, but they still here. Are we connected? Or not? How do we deal with this? And then Hashem, what's your part in this? And it can be anger, sadness, a lot of emotions. So if you're aware that a part of you doesn't allow you to feel, and if this is what's going on, so it's pretty clear why. So thank that part. And with compassion, you thank it for protecting you from feeling those heavy and feelings that you don't want to feel. It's scared to feel those feelings, and it is scary. Sometimes you can't do it on your own. So it's protecting you. And while we're talking about, zooming out, being able to see these parts, it does take time to be able to do it, to do that. Until we learn that skill, many times we can fall into a place where if I allow myself to feel, whether it's sadness, anxious, if I allow myself, I have to know how long I should stay there because it can really take you over. And then you have a hard time just being productive, doing the next thing in front of you because it pulls you in, right? So let's talk about sadness. For whatever reason, you feel sad. And until now, you didn't allow yourself, there was a part of you that protects you to feel that sadness so that you should be able to continue, do what you need to do. And now you're learning how to slowly listen to those parts. So there's a part of you that's protecting you from feeling sadness. If you're listening to it, you're slowing down, you're allowing the parts to come up, then the sadness is going to come up. It comes up, and then you start feeling it, and okay, and it can take you over, and you feel like, oh, I don't know, how am I going to continue? What am I going to do? And you forget that you want to create that distance. Yes, you want to listen to it. Yes, you want to see it, but you don't want to get caught into it, feeling that, oh, this is my life. This is who I am. This is what my life is all about. I think, oh, I can't. I don't know. So we want to create that space. So it again, we're allowing, we're trying to feel, but you might want to start just with a minute or two. Might be even, just a few minutes. You might feel like you want to cry, and that's okay. Allow yourself to cry. And after a minute or two, you say, okay, enough for now. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll be back tomorrow. And you'll continue. But to stay there for too long might not be a good idea. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so now we have many reasons why a person would want to, not would want to, but be aware of that part of you that's critical. So how do we turn it around to self-compassion? So I'm not sure if you picked it up already, but my secret is that you don't have to do anything. Just by creating this space and just by listening, that itself is like, wow, finally somebody's listening to me. Okay. But yeah, obviously it has to be with compassion. Like I mentioned, it has to be like somebody, a good friend shares with you something that they feel. You don't push them away. You don't tell them that, don't be childish. You listen. And this is how they feel. If you feel sad, if you feel anxious, if you're worried about something, if this is how you feel and your friend feels, your friend is sharing that and you're a good friend with a listening ear, you're not pushing them away. You're like, wow, what's going on? Tell me more. So if you do that to yourself, that itself is compassion. You've just created that space, found a piece in you that can have the compassion for the other part. So there you go. How do we go from self-critic to self-compassion? By becoming aware of the self-critic, by creating that space, by listening, not running away, not judging, listening with compassion. There you go. So did you do anything? No. You don't have to do anything. Just have to listen. There are many people that are, searching and trying to find what healing and different modalities, and I'm not happy with how I feel, and I've tried this, I've tried that, and sometimes I tell them, for a few minutes, just stop, no more, no more. Just sit for a few minutes and just see that feeling that comes up and says, I need to heal. I'm not happy with where I am. This is crazy. Life is crazy. I don't like it. Just sit there for a minute or two and be there. Be there for yourself. That itself. There you go. Another modality for those who are searching another one. But this idea might be hard because until now you're running and trying to, search, read, listen. What I'm telling you is to stop, take a deep breath, instead of moving forward, move back, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, relax. I can't. I'm here, I'm holding your hands. Take it easy. What's going on? What are you feeling? I can't, I don't know. I have to heal. This is crazy. What's going on in my life? This and that. Like, if you can listen to that, if you can be there, listen to those parts that are screaming, and then eventually come up with the positives. But even before that, if you can listen, that itself is self-compassion. Just have compassion on yourself. See how it's so hard to be where you are with all these parts that are coming up, all the critical parts. Yes, and eventually we'll be able to go to making louder the positive parts. That's important. And to be able to go to positive affirmations, to believing yourself. But even before that, just to be able to listen with compassion. Listen with compassion. For the next 5, 10 minutes, nothing is going to change. Put down that book, stop listening to the podcast, just breathe in and out and be there. Listen what's going on. Just listen. That itself is compassion. Okay, beautiful. So that's it. That's it for tonight. Thank you. Let's go to the chat. If anybody has questions, you can raise your hand. Let's see. I grew up in a very critical family. Okay, just being aware that that's very loud. That doesn't mean that you're totally, it's you. There are parts in you that can be nice, compassionate. What's if I do need a different modality? Great question. Great question. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that there are a lot of stuff out there. I would want you to look back, see how many things you've done and how if you're constantly looking for that right one. Because many people find themselves addicted to new modalities. But I'm sure you've found many that have worked, maybe not 100%, so there goes the perfectionism, but you've found some that work. Now it's time to implement them. Take them in, start living with them slowly. I'm not always running to that, more, I need more, I need more. I'm not happy with where I am. That's what it is. It's so hard to just relax. I can't be where I am. I have to run away from myself. So if we can create that space to listen, why am I running away from myself? Because I can't stay here because what's going on? Why? Tell me more. With compassion, listen. And if you can listen to that, like, I get you. I hear you. You can create that compassion like a good friend. And that itself is so important. No matter what modality you do, if you don't have self-compassion, it's almost impossible. Okay. Will this technique help us stay above the level of sinking down into the negative critical? How often? Good question. So it's something that you really have to be aware of where you are. When you do find yourself when you find yourself experiencing, allowing yourself to experience those negative emotions, what happens? Do you get lost there? Or you can understand that it's just something inside of you that you might want to work out, but you can continue. So it's important to know where you are. If it pulls you into a full blown, a few day meltdown or freeze, then you might want to do it slowly. Beautiful. Instead of don't just sit there, do something, rephrase to don't just do something, sit there. I like that. Yes, our mind tells us just keep on doing, do, don't sit down. There's so many things you got to do. Just keep on going. Wow, that's a part of you. Listen to it. And you could say, wait a second. So, first, you want to listen to it. It's saying a lot. If you stop, you know what's going to happen? If you just sit there, you know what's going to come up? Tell me more. What's going to come up? And then you can eventually go to a place of don't just do something, sit there and allow things to come up. But again, not for too long. I don't know what's going to come up. You never know. Okay. So whoever is scheduled to go for intense trauma treatment, Hashem should help. We should be with a lot of atzlocha. Everything should work out. Amidst Hashem, everybody should get the healing that they need. But only with self-compassion. And when you see the self-critic, don't be critical that you have that there's so much critic going on. Just be aware of it. Just be aware of it and allow. Okay, beautiful. What's next week's schedule? Just a second. Let me see. Good question. A day before Thomas Esther. We'll keep you up to date. Maybe we'll sit, or maybe we'll prepare Shlachmanis. I have to see where I am in my life. So thank you very much. Thank yourself for taking some time off. Well deserved. We all deserve it. Some time off to sit. It's okay if you're not doing anything for a little bit. And then you can go back to that list and with some clarity, some focus, some compassion. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're okay. And Amrit Hashem, with that, we can continue on our journey, find ourselves in a better place, slow down a little bit. And Amrit Hashem, we'll see you next week, hopefully, and I'll keep you up to date. Thank you very much. The replay is available on menachembernfeld.com. To get the emails, you can send me an email, coachmenachem@gmail.com. Let me know to add you to the list if you don't get emails, so that I can let you know about next week. Thank you, and have a good night.